Hello and welcome to round 6 of the JCW Mini UK Tour. Today we're at the Silverstone National circuit. We've got ourselves a bit of a wet and soggy day ahead of us. However, I think it's going to give us some really good racing. We come into this round with a really healthy points lead. However, we've seen how strong the AI can be in the wet conditions, especially slicks in wet conditions, which I think we're going to be very lucky to avoid in this round. So I think I might need that points buffer. So I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait to get started. So without further ado, let's get into practice and let's see where we fare. Right, so we start off with a very wet practice. So our forecast for the day is practice is going to be, looks like fairly heavy rain. That qualifying, oh, we're going to have a dry qualifying. Oh, that's more than I thought we were going to be. We then get, our worst case is dry going into light rain in the race one. We've seen that, that's going to cause us problems, I think. Race one's going to be our biggest headache. And race two looks like it starts wet and ends wet. So yeah, we might struggle with tyre wear maybe in race two, but we'll keep an eye out for that. But yeah, right, well, I think practice is going to be fairly indicative of race two, isn't it? So maybe a little bit wetter. So let's go see what tyre wear is like. We need to see what that's like, don't we? Let's go and see what tyres we've got on. Make sure we're not hard coded to slicks. Right, so we should be on wets. Let's go and yeah, let's go and see what tyre wear is like. I think we're definitely going to be putting wipers and lights on, I think. Well, welcome to England and our great British summertime. Well, there's not a lot of grip there, is there? Okay. Well, we'll ease ourselves into it, I think. I'd say the rear brake bias is a bit too strong. But we'll get some heat in the fronts and the rears first before we, well, try to get some in the rears anyway. Yeah, we need to move our brake bias a little bit. That'll give us a good chance to practice the pit in, won't it? Not even sure where you entered the pits actually. Too quick there, are we? Okay. Right, let's return to pit box, set up. Right, let's I think we'll bring that to 200 and then we'll increase brake bias to 60. That should see us hopefully about right. head straight back out there again. So we've got lights, wipers on, ready to go. Right, we've got 10 minutes. Let's go and see what that tyre wear's like after 10 minutes. Now the downside to the diff change is that obviously you tend to increase the preload as the grip comes up, so that might end up being something that we drop back down again. But also at the same time though, I want stability from the car. So, well, you need stability from the car. I need to have confidence in where I put the front end. That's a handy line to know. Remember that one? Certainly feels a bit more stable anyway. Now, generally speaking, I find if a car is balanced nicely in the wet, it tends to be nicely balanced in the dry as well. So in some ways, testing in the rain can be quite helpful. Still just a little bit on the back, aren't we? At the same time though, I don't really want to be going too much further forward on the brake bias. I think instead I shall increase the ABS. Don't want to go much more than 6, don't really want to go much more than 5 if I can avoid it. I want to get to the end of the 10 minutes here because I want to see what the tyre wear is like after 10 minutes. The other reason I don't want to go any further forward on the front brake bias is because I don't want to risk having front lockups. I know we've got ABS, but I don't want to risk it. You definitely don't want to lock up the front wheels in a front wheel drive car. It never ends well. So I want to be quite hard on these front tyres in this 10 minutes because I want to see what they can cope with if I really lean on them. And although it's not an energy release of mine to lean on them, you hear them. I'm not sure if it comes through to the recording or not, but you really hear when the tyres are saying enough's enough, buddy, I need you to back off a bit. They don't seem that competitive in the wet, do they? This is giving me a nice amount of confidence. That should be a track limits, I'd have thought. Nope. Okay. I think in race conditions that would have been a track limits infringement. Yeah, you see, look, it doesn't take much pushing, and you're over the edge. You really need to stay on that line. This is good. This is very, very... I like it when you get a practice that's really helpful. Gives you information it's actually gonna... You know, it's not just... This is why I still record them, because practice is not just running around and wasting 15 minutes. Practice is about finding your position, where you are, what the day is like, what you're up against, where you're good, where you're not, what your tyre wear is like, fuel usage. You know, there's so many things in those 15 minutes that you're looking at that they're actually a very, very valuable 15 minutes, and in some ways probably some of the most important 15 minutes of the day. See, I'm not sure we're going to get 15 minutes out of these tyres. It's going to be nip and tuck, because it's already gone, I'd say, looking at that, 30%. Yeah. So I think we have to be a little bit careful with the fronts. I don't think we can push them like this in the feature race. Because bear in mind, the feature race isn't going to be quite as wet as this. It's a lighter rain forecast. Definitely need to take a different approach in that corner as well. We're now P2, so that means, yeah, so we're point. So Ellis has just gone fastest, out of view of the recording. It's on the top left of my screen. So Ellis has just gone fastest, 0.133 faster than what we've gone. Just placed us at the top, and it's all pretty close, to be fair. So I think we're in for a really, really good day's racing. I'm really excited, I can't wait. And yeah, I'm fairly happy with the balance of the car. I think we can work with that. It's got a little bit of a tendency to oversteer on entry. However, it's manageable, and I think driving style is going to be one of the biggest tools I've got available to me. Need to look at that, don't I? Need to... There's a big puddle on the inside there, though. So we're about halfway on tyre wear, and we're still setting competitive times. So that's encouraging as well. That was a nice lap, that one. Looks like the track's drying up a little bit. He says, as he goes wandering off the circuit. So that put us fastest again, but only by 0.047. So we're still, yeah. I think the track evolution is coming into play a little bit here, I would say. Although having said that, maybe not. Oh, I don't know. Might be tyres now. So I think we need to be really careful now on our tyre wear. So that's only 10 minutes, and I think we're starting to have a tread depth that can't quite cope with the water on the circuit. However, like I say, there should be a bit less rain in the feature race than this, so the tread depth shouldn't be quite so needed in the feature race as what it is right now. But even so, we're going to need to be mindful of that. I mean, the sprint race is going to be just, it's going to be Brands Hatch and Alton Park all over again, looking at that. Yeah, I think we're going to be, so we've got a dry qualifying ahead, so we'll try and do our best in the qualifying, see how that goes. A bit late there, a bit late. Yeah, so computer's taken over now. Right, so we are still Brazilian. Okay, so we fastest by a very small margin to Porter. Then Ellis is a bit back, so is West. But then we were a bit slower than Ellis, and then everything came together on that one lap. So I think we're all very. I mean, look, it's really tight all the way down. So I reckon we're all nip and tuck with each other, which is great. So right, I'm gonna have to be on it, aren't I? There's no doubt about it. Right, well, let's get into qualifying then, shall we? Right, into qualifying we go. That down a bit. Let's get that back down to there. Okay. That might just allow us to run a slightly more rearward brake bias, actually. Yes, let's do that, because that will help us out. So if you didn't notice that, so I've just taken a bit of rear pressure out of the rear tyres. They were higher than I realised they were going to be, higher than I thought they were. This is obviously fairly old setup now, so. Where are we? We're going to have to be careful of people here. Getting a clean lap. In fact, I think getting a clean lap is going to be one of the key things of this qualifying. So we've got Ellis behind us. It's just so much more grip when you got a dry track and slicks. I know that shouldn't be a surprise to anybody, but it's just, it makes such a difference. It's so much nicer. And I quite like wet driving, but yeah, there's something nice about just having grip. Right, we need to make this work for us. didn't take the fuel out, did I? I'll do that on the second run. Rookie error, Andrew. We're half a second off at the moment. A million miles away from pole at the moment, even with a full tank of fuel. Nice. That is nice. Maybe we'll just leave it like that, it seems a bit more interesting that way. Should we send it? It's a bit harsh, isn't it? It is qualifying. Yeah, it. Pardon my French. Yeah, let's see if we can do this with a full tank of fuel. It's more interesting that way, isn't it? Bit of a challenge. So we're exactly 1/10 off pole at the moment. Do it. Don't you get in my way, bud. You... Oh. There's a name for people like you. Yeah. There's a name for people like you, mate. Not as good this lap, was it? We had a cracking first corner in the last lap. It's a very difficult track to find time on, this one. Yeah, very difficult to find time here. Could do with a new set of tyres, but I'm not going to. We'll just keep going round. That's screwed us over a bit. I might be regretting that decision. We're now half a second off. Okay, we're not beating that. But we're committed now, so we are where we are. It's alright though, it's still good learning for the sprint race anyway, so. If we can qualify, well, if we can maintain fifth, qualify fifth with a full tank of fuel on, yeah, I fancy our chances in the race. Well, at least until the rain hits, anyway. The only trouble is that the further back you go, the less civilised it gets. So it's, yeah, he's got to be a bit more mindful. This might help us a bit. This might help us just a little tiny bit. Oh, I'm well happy with this. Considering, yeah. So we're 0.25 off pole, currently fourth. I don't see us going faster again, but we'll just keep circulating now and see. I'm surprised actually, so the tyres are still green. I thought the left front was guaranteed to be in the yellow and run hot, but it's actually taken it really nicely. So yeah, this is looking very positive for the race. And to be fair, I mean, at this track, you could take fuel out, but it's not gonna make a huge amount of difference. It might give you a couple of tenths, but it's not like other circuits where it's worth like half a second to a second, because it's just such a small lap. little bit quicker again. Oh, that's good. It's pleasing. Bit too quick in that. Let's ease off a little bit. We've got one last push. We've got 7 seconds to Hawkins, 6 seconds to Hawkins now. So yeah, we'll just let this back off a bit. Right, this will be the last go. Different line, on the power a little bit earlier there, went for the wider exit. Not sure it really helped or not really. Oh well, it's a good effort. Bit shy. So that puts us 5th by the looks of it. Yeah, so we're 5th. 0.195 down. Ellis is well down, look at that. Anyway, we've got a race. Yeah. But very, very pleasing because we've got, well, we had a full tank of fuel on board, so I think you could remove a couple of tenths, maybe 3 tenths. I don't think you get much more than that by dropping the fuel down, especially because we're using double fuel. So you've got to put in, you know, it isn't like you're going in there with a TT 5 litres fixed. You're going in there with 15 litres of fuel as opposed to 44 litres of fuel. So it's not, the difference is going to be even less compared to a TT. So I would imagine, yeah, we're looking at 2.5, maybe 3 tenths. Either way, we were going to be 1st or 2nd, I would have thought, with a lower amount of fuel. So we've got a race in our hands. This is great. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm a little bit nervous about how the sprint race is going to unfold with the rain in the second half of the race. But all in all, though, I'm very happy with that effort. So yeah, great qualifying, brilliant. Well, until this afternoon, thanks for watching, and we'll see you later for the sprint race.